What it is, what it ain't. Welcome everybody back to an all new episode of A Story to Tell right here on the CWF Network. So, y'all, I was in a little funk last week. I really was. And that's probably why I didn't record a video. I don't know. It's just recently in my creative career, I've just been trying to get back onto the ball. Like, I feel like I was gone for so long and I was just trying and I couldn't, which brings me to one of the things today. We hit 1 million views on YouTube for the CWF Network. So congrats to me, but I'm gonna tell you, y'all remember when Left Eye like went on the award shows and was like, I'm gonna tell you how you can win a Grammy and be broke. Like, I'm gonna tell you how you can get 1 million views on YouTube and still not be monetized. So when I was in a hotel and I was building a YouTube, I started with because like all the hosts left the network, and so I started with posting polls and whatnot. And so I was posting polls, and that's how, like, pause or play or did it age well, like that's how those polls kind of came about. And so it's just like I was posting polls, and then I was kind of posting long form videos, but the videos were probably 3 minutes long, and those were like what Twitter had said videos, and that was just me like posting up people's tweets and like all of that. But I was posting so much shorts, getting views, and they were getting views, but I didn't notice until I was like about 500,000 that when you post shorts, it doesn't count towards your views that you need in order to get monetized. So in order to get monetized, you need 1,000 subscribers, which I have. You need 4,000 watch hours, which I have if you just look at the watch hours. But then now they have this new thing that's called like engaged watch hours, which is the views that count. And so when you look at my watch hours, I have 4,000 watch hours. When you look at my engaged watch hours, I have 89. And you need 4,000 to get monetized. So now I have to bring up more long form content so I can get the views back. So let me give you a story. So if you're new here, I started the CWF Network. Like, I can't even say it, it's been so long that I haven't said it every day. But the CWF Network, I started in 2014, living in Baltimore, having to walk 2 miles a day to the train, to the bus, to another bus, to a job that paid $11 an hour. That's when I worked at Easy Pass. And so like I would be walking and all I had to listen to was Joe Budden podcast and Brilliant Idiots with Charlamagne the God. I think Lip Service was out at that time with Angela Yee, and Combat Jack was just phasing out. And then he would eventually pass away is when I really started with the network, because he had a network and it kind of inspired me to start a network. So shout out to Combat Jack, rest in peace. But yeah, I just started creating little mini shows. Like Conversation with Friends was my first one. Called my friend, said, hey, let's record and let's talk and record it over the phone. It was like our show. That show was huge and it was doing well and things like that. But the thing about it is, when you start a show with somebody who doesn't have the same vision as you, it's never going to go right. And although we were great because that was our natural banter, I essentially think that, that's just wasn't the route that he wanted to take. And there were moments in time where I was trying to push that on him, but it's just like, why not? Because it's like, this is a good opportunity, and like, if we would have stayed on and just imagine where we would have been now. And that's what I think about now. And it's just like, even in the rest of my creative career, I've had like moments where it was like about to blow, and I've been there with people, and either they've shot up and not came back to grab me, or like they just stopped, and like their momentum of stopping caused my momentum to die out. And then, I had my start with Day 26, and like that was about to be huge, and then I had a stalker who kind of ruined that situation. And so it's just been moments of like being like almost there but not there, almost there but not there. Or if this project is gonna get me there, like, y'all, I was fired from my job of 5 years because like I just would dip out because I needed to go do photo shoots. I needed to go meet stylists to go give them my pieces and things like that. And so I would just be dipping out of work, and like I was tired of being there. They didn't want me there. I didn't want to be there. So like eventually they were just like, bro, like, we know you don't want to be here. We don't want you here. And so let's just call it even. And like, because they tried to fire me before, and I told them I would sue them because I knew mad shit in that office. And so they were just like, okay, we'll let you go, let you get unemployment if you just say that you won't sue us. So, you know how you want to do things, but then it finally happens. Like I wanted to quit that job, but then it finally happened, and then like I was just devastated because I was like, oh shit, like what's next? But then that same day when I got fired, I got a call to style a shoot that ended up in Vogue Italia, and like y'all, when I tell you, like I thought that was it. Thought that like I mean, who could deny this black kid who got into Vogue Italia? Like not even just Vogue America, like Italia. Like, are you kidding me? Like, and then it was like other magazines that I was featured in that was like world fashion magazines that some of my pieces were in. Like, my pieces been in spreads, like back to school spreads. Some of my cardigans that I've like custom made in my house, just sitting here on my own. That I grinded out to meet the stylist, to get the stylist who's doing this shoot to be able to be featured in these things or having the connections to do that. And so it's just like, after years and years and years of disappointment, it's like, bro, like how much more I got to do? And I was just telling Derek earlier, like, you know, recently, probably within the past year or so, like everything, because I've been out the spotlight for so long, everything that I'm getting is, oh man, much like you can just keep doing it. All you gotta do is just put yourself out there. And it's just like, bro, I've been living my fucking life on the internet since 2000. Like, I've been on the internet since 2000, whether it was MySpace or ICQ or AIM or Black Planet, Mahende, all the gay ones, like all of them. I've just been online. Like, hey, this is what I do. Hey, I make shirts. Hey, I make hats. Hey, I have a blog. Hey, I'm a writer. Hey, I do this. I know computers. I can help you with social media. Like, I can help you with Instagram. Like, I've been that nigga. And then it's just like you continuously put yourself out there. People see it. Oh my god, like I'm still known. Like people still see me and be like, oh my god, much like when you gonna make me a hat? Shout out to my hats. I've been back into doing that, but people know me for my hats from back in the day, and like that's because it was good branding because I was outside passing out flyers after the club at 4 a.m. Like it's just like people remember shit like that, but it's just like how much do you have to do to fucking put yourself out there? Like because in this climate, in this era of being creative, like the way people get on is via scandal, via drama, via like, you know, putting someone else down to get where they want to get. And I refuse to do all those things. Like I'm not gonna bend over backwards to put myself out. I've been putting myself out there. Now, is there more I can do? Sure. Sure. But like how many people do you have to work with for somebody to be like, oh my God, I know who would be fucking perfect for this? And you know, I start therapy this week, and you know, it's just something where I just need to. I did therapy a long time ago after I was outed, and I remember the strategies on how to like, you know, get past certain blockages and things like that. I do remember that, so I've been conscious to stay mindful. But after everything that we went through for the past 5 years, like bro, like doing this creative shit and then like being like, okay, like it's not working solo, so let me try to go work for a company. Bro, for almost 4 years, I applied to producer jobs, to radio jobs, to media jobs that I was way overqualified for to get nothing, which then sent me into depression because it's just like, then when I got fired from the job that wasn't in my field, it was like, okay, cool, like I could try to get something like, and nothing to the point where I was working at Amazon warehouse in Virginia, like just sitting there like, how the fuck did this become my life? Like the guy who went to school, the guy who did everything he had to do, like you know, I had my own place when I was young and like, I was doing all these things, and it's just like, how? I wasn't on drugs, I wasn't out partying, I don't have like an expensive spending habit. Like I've literally gotten jobs and like been doing my thing and lost them, whether it was reduction of the thing, my job with the when during the pandemic, like they made all people who work for New York return to office after I just moved to Atlanta. Like I just moved here and now you're requiring everybody to come back to office. There was nothing in the cards to say this pandemic was ending anytime soon or these remote jobs were coming back. It was just like a weekend decision, and then Monday they announced it, and then Friday they were implementing it. And it's just like, what was I gonna do? Because it's just like I couldn't move back to New York, and it wasn't like, which we should have, but that's a story for a different episode. But yeah, it's just some of my creative thoughts. And then also, I gotta get more community. I really do. Over the past 5 years, I've lost so many friends. And it's not because they, they're still here. Well, some of them are still alive. But for the most part, all the ones that I, were really rocking with, they're still here. But it's just like, you grow up and you just become different people. You want different things, or you go through things, and your friends don't want to see you that version of you, or they're tired of that version of you. But it's just like when me and Derek were going through our things, yeah, like okay, like we can talk and chat, and like you can tell me all the gossip and shit like that. But like it got to a certain point where I didn't even want to hear that, because it was just like, bro, I have like real shit to focus on. I cannot focus on this minute shit. Like this gossipy shit, this shit of you talking about someone that we used to know 10 years ago. Like it's just like that for me wasn't in the cards right now. So it's just like, just wait till I get back on my feet. And a lot of them just kind of dissipated. And then, now that me and Derek are posting again, and we be posting on YouTube and shit, like it's just like, oh my God, like, oh, hey y'all, I'm gonna be in New York, No, don't come to New York. Don't come to New York for me. Because it's just like when we were down and out in that hotel, there were people that did not reach out to us. And we told our story. We said that we were there. There were people that knew we were in a hotel and never said anything. Like, we know y'all know, and never said anything. And like, that's absurd to me, because it's just like, I feel like I've said this before, but if I have a friend and like we stop talking, and then I find out that they're going through some real shit, I'm gonna be sitting up there like, nah, like let me call this friend and make sure they good. Cause it's just like, that's crazy. Like, I don't wish bad on nobody, but it's just like, that's crazy. Like, to hear somebody living in a hotel. And it's just like, and then me and Derek were talking about just, when people hear that you are homeless, and it's just like, they think you were like sleeping under a bridge. Like, no, bitch, I wasn't sleeping under a bridge. But what I was doing was being someone who did all the things that you're supposed to do, working. Like, I was working while living in that hotel, like paying $400 a week. I mean, you can't do that if you wasn't working. So it's just like, so it was 246 days the first time, and then it was 7 months the second time. So imagine that, every week, $400. So it just got to a point where, and then like my car broke down while in there, so I then had to take Uber to Amazon, which costs and so now that it's been a year, we've been back, well, a year and change now, I'm finally getting back to my sense of self. Like, I came back, I definitely was partying like a madman and just drinking excessively. Not to the point where it was just like you got a problem. I wasn't waking up and drinking, but staying out late, like not getting home till 6, 7 in the morning and things like that. And it was like, you know what? I think I needed that, because it was like, it just felt like I was just deprived of social life for these past couple of years. Yes, I met friends. Yes, I did go out and do things, but it wasn't the things that I really like to do. Like, I socialize a certain type of way in New York. Like, I like to pop around. Like, a lot of it involves walking around the city and just kind of just, taking in life. Like, a lot of it is just like popping into places. Like, I love to go somewhere late. Like, if you gonna catch me out, I'm leaving this house probably 1:30. Like, I'll take a nap and wake up at 1:30. I know people are like, oh my God, nah, because when I get there, it's 2 something. And that gives me a good hour and change. Like, it's already lit. Like, people I already know are there. Like, I don't gotta wait for people to get there. Like, so I pop in, and then it's like, oh my God, Mush, hey, oh my God, hey, thank you, hey, oh my God, see you later, gotta go home. And so, like, that's, or like I could go to a museum, or I could go read in a park, or I could just do so many things that just made me happy here that I wasn't able to do in the South. Road trips, like I can go on road trips again. Like, Philly Pride is coming up at the end of the month, and then DC Pride is coming up. It's just like, these are the things that I used to do all the time, and it's just like, I said on our couple channel, like, I'm trying to get involved in more community events now that I'm a little bit older, because it's just like, I do want to be a source of information for somebody younger in this life, because it's just like, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. And I did this shit when, and that's one of the things with therapy. Although I did go once I was outed, like, now just talking about like the effects of that, and how that one situation changed like the trajectory of how I carried myself around people. Because it was just like, once that happened, it was just like, I don't want no one to know about this, because it was just like, it was such a big reaction over something so small. Like, somebody finds out that you suck a dick, and then it's just like now all of a sudden you got the cooties, and like you know, you need to be a man, and like all these phrases that I felt you know, where's your dad, like all these phrases that I be hearing people say, and it's just like, are y'all stupid? Like it's just like, and that's why I tell people I'm only gay at night. Like during the day I am a black man because I'm black first. Like you're not gonna see my gay first. Some might, but at the end of the day, like you're gonna see my black first. And I have to deal with that first, and even that is its own little thing. But then having to be around our people and then deal with so much scrutiny around just. But you know, I feel like it's a little bit easier now because gay is trendy. But then now it's like everybody's trying to just be clock it, clock it, and doing all the wrong fingers and yes, girl, and like just because you find out I'm gay, all of a sudden you talking about something, yes, bitch. Like, can you not do that? That's weird. Like that's weird that you switch up and change. And I get it, maybe one or two gays that you met like that, but don't do that over here. And so it's just like, even my relationship with just black women is just very, because I've had a rough route with them, especially in this life and me and being, you know, yeah, it's been a rough road. So those are some of the things that I'll just talk about in therapy this week. It's gonna need to be longer than a 45-minute session because it's a lot of things, but we're just picking at it one day at a time, and I'm doing the work and doing everything that I gotta do, and I'm coming on here and recording this. Like, you know, I said that I want to get up and record this, and I did. And this is way more like mellow and like, I don't know, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to be back. I don't know about the video portion because, you know, I love you. I used to love a story to tell when it was just audio. I miss podcasts when they were just like audio. Everybody expects video now, and it's just like, bro, sometimes my hair ain't cut, and I don't want to get on here and look like that. I come from the old school where you ain't getting on camera looking a mess. But I'm trying to adjust to the new times because these are the times we live. These are the times we all live for. Yeah. But I'm about to go, y'all. Please, 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 before you get out of here, make sure you subscribe. Did a Bryson's Diary, so go over to brysonseries.com and check that out. It'll be out soon. And donate if you can, as low as $1. You can donate for the network. I'm trying to get an office space. But yeah, so I didn't know that, so I just kept building and building and building. But in order to get monetized via shorts views, you have to have 3 million within the past, I think, 90 days. 3 million's a lot. Like, I get views, like some of my best ones have like 60, 70,000. But like, yeah, so we're just trying to adjust and figure that out. But I'll probably edit this into the middle after this. But yeah, so yeah, subscribe, like, comment, all that. Follow me on Instagram, mushking__. And yeah, be sure to tell your story because you never know who's listening. Because guess what? We all got a story to tell. And y'all, I'm ready to tell like my come up story and be the one who made it and be like, bro, let me tell you about the time I stayed in a hotel with 1 million views on YouTube.